Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, Entitled Mom doesn't know how triage works. Entitled Mom gets mad at my mom and her robotic kid, me. The Pop Rocks Incident. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled Mom doesn't know how triage works. I work at a pediatric emergency room. I encounter lots of entitled parents, but this mom from last night almost made me lose my shit. She had taken her son in because he had an unusual rash on his arm. She was very distressed that entire night and often came up to me to ask how long they would have to keep waiting. I said there weren't enough rooms for everyone to be seen quickly and apologized for the long wait. Maybe 2 hours after they had come, a teenage girl had been taken in by her father. He had to carry her because she was losing consciousness, felt extremely cold, and was delirious. Obviously, she had to be seen immediately because we suspected she was septic. Patient quickly got moved to the PICU, and a wait time for this patient would likely mean death. The mom accused me of lying that there weren't enough rooms because this girl had gotten a room instantly. I wish people understood that we need to prioritize who gets seen first. Seriously, what is wrong with these people? There is a difference between life and death situations that have to take priority over a minor rash. But her sweet dingleberry's rash is far more important than, well, everything. Wait until she gets the bill and insurance covers zero because it wasn't a true emergency. Lady should be thankful TBH. If an ER is busy and you/your family member get taken right in, it means they're really in bad shape/danger. Having to wait almost always means your situation is minor and the patient will be fine. In my country, there are 2 large banners explaining this at all ER entrances. Triage statuses and patient rights/duties. Ha ha. I'm just the opposite. I was in my last trimester with my 3rd child. Recently separated from my husband. He came to see our other 2 daughters and handed me some cash for a change. After he left with the girls, I went to the store. I was feeling wet, but in no pain. Decided to go to ER to be checked, in Brooklyn, New York. I waited in the triage line with about 10 or 12 people in front of me. The nurse asked how far along I am, I tell her. She then asked why I'm there and I tell her I think my water broke, but I was definitely not in labor. She got very upset and said I should have come straight up to the window and not stand in line. I told her I really didn't feel like getting jumped by the other patients. I had to have my C-section that night as I did go into active labor. My daughter was born fairly healthy, about 3 weeks early. Entitled Mom gets mad at my mom and her robotic kid, me. A bit of context for the story: I'm type 1 diabetic and people can tell pretty easily. My mom and I are part of a charity group and we love the moms in our group, except for this mom, EM. EM constantly made trouble with me and my mom, which my mom is our class leader. From interrupting our class meetings so her daughter, who has autism, could take a brain break to mocking me for having diabetes. Like, I understand that people with autism can get overstimulated very easily, but her daughter seemed fine and generally annoyed from the brain breaks. I probably shouldn't make assumptions, but did. One day, my class went to our friend's Indian dance graduation and we all dressed for the occasion since it's a pretty big milestone for her. EM refused to dress up and I thought that maybe she felt uncomfortable wearing the Indian clothing we were given. During the whole performance, which was 3 hours long, she was on her phone. Now I understand how a child can get bored, but you're a grown woman. Her daughter could sit still and watch the entire 3-hour-long performance, so why couldn't she? During dinner, she refused to eat the Indian food we were given, saying that it looked gross. Indian food isn't for everyone, but you're at a cultural experience, at least try it. After the whole thing, my mom and I were heading back to the car when we heard EM call for us. She handed her daughter's Indian costume back to us, and while complaining to my mom about how hard it was for her daughter to do her job in our class, my insulin pump sent an alarm that my BG levels were high. Why does your alarm have to go off all the time? it's so annoying, EM shouts at me. Sorry EM, I can't control it, I told her, but she could care less. You should be ashamed having a robotic daughter, she should just learn to suck it up, EM shouts at my mom. Mom, stop calling her a robot, she's not a robot, she's just different, EM's daughter says to her, and EM scoffs. You know what, clearly no one is on my side, maybe I should leave this group and it'll be all your fault. Don't be upset when you want me back, I hate you and your stupid, pathetic daughter, EM shouts, clearly pointing out my boyish hair and dragging her poor daughter along with her. Now I'm biologically female, but I prefer a more masculine look and currently go by any pronouns. I've had gender dysphoria before, but she made me feel really bad about it just then. I know this isn't the most exciting story, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. The fact she's not kicked from the group is baffling. She almost did. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Her daughter actually seemed pretty well behaved, somehow. With such a mother, that's the most impressive part of the story. I feel for you and, TBH, for her daughter too. Seems the kind of mother who exploits her child's illness to get sympathy, and is clearly upset when the attention is not on her. There should be a line though, they should be afraid to cross it. At least you can get medicine for your diabetes, there isn't anything to prescribe for being a hosebeast terrible person. Wonder if the daughter gets brain breaks from her mom. As a parent of a type 1 son, I think I would have had to have words with her long ago. Yes, alarms happen, but that's better than an ambulance being called, which I'm sure she would have moaned about also. The Pop Rocks incident. Someone requested this story. Ick, if this belongs here, couldn't find another appropriate place, so here we go. I was maybe 6, 7? Mom took me to a skating rink a lot and I loved it. It was rarely crowded, the people there were always super nice and patient with my talkative young self. At this time I was very close with a lot of the employees, to the point where they let me be a taste tester when they got new treats out. I vividly have wonderful memories regarding the Good Humor strawberry shortcake, as I rarely got treats at home. They still put a smile on my face when I see them. There was a vending machine, which I rarely touched or looked at as that costed money. But there were these new things in there called Pop Rocks, and I was so curious about them. My mom said no, which was fine, but I still sat in front of the machine as I didn't feel like skating that day. Those mysterious Pop Rocks only building in my childish head. A sweet old lady saw a little girl eyeing the machine silently and approached, asking me what I was looking at. After I told her, she smiled and put some money in the machine, but instead of excitement I felt intense panic. Knowing my mom wouldn't have been happy, I tried declining, but not wanting to be rude to the nice lady, I took them from her thanking her. Of course, almost instantly my mom ran over, saw the candy in my hand and started yelling at me. Ripping the candy from my hands and throwing it in the trash, before grabbing my arm a little too hard and yanked me out of the skating rink. I was grounded again, not even getting a chance to say anything. I grew fearful of people's kindness getting me in trouble. I can't look at Pop Rocks without remembering this story, and they make me a little sad. That was so mean of your mom. The poor lady was doing such a nice thing for her, and then she sees you mom's tirade. She must have felt awful. Oh, and by the way, Good Humor strawberry shortcake was awesome. I have a feeling she was mad that I disobeyed her when she told me I couldn't have them originally. It's not like I convinced the lady, she did it all on her own. And yeah, I agree. They're still awesome ice creams. I have to get them super rarely because I'll eat the whole box and make myself sick. Your mom sounds crazy to me. She should have let you keep the Pop Rocks. Or at least tried them herself. Though that probably would have really freaked her out. She can be, and at the time she was like a size 2 or lower, part of the reason why I was so rarely allowed treats of any kind. Especially considering the majority of my family being obese. That and like I get the whole don't take candy from strangers, but still, I would have liked to keep it. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.